JazzCast Pros.
Welcome back to Beauty Boss Millionaire. It's your girl, Falicia and I am so excited to be back. I'm back to myself. The purpose of this episode is one, just to catch you up on me. And then we're going to go into this week on what to do during a recession, what things work during a recession, what doesn't work, what businesses you should not get into, what businesses you should get into, and what your business that you're currently doing now may need to not do.
Thank you for tuning in to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast with Falicia. Her mission is to empower you with short, on-the-go business tips and advice to help you successfully start and run your company like a boss. And now, here's your host, Beauty Boss Millionaire, Falicia.
As many of you all know, you've been watching me on social media, on Instagram, Facebook. I just gave birth to the most beautiful baby girl. She is 5 months now, and I basically took off just to spend time with her, to have a peaceful birth. And I wanted to just really catch everyone up on, me and what's been going on. And most importantly, I want to go into the big R word that a lot of people are talking about, which is the recession and what to do. A lot of people are freaking out. And then we're already seeing some of the effects. We're already in a recession, as we know. And I want to just help navigate entrepreneurs through the process of what to do during a recession, what not to do, things that we can do to help and grow and thrive as a community, as an entrepreneur. So I'm really excited to be back because I've been watching everything unravel, and I've been obviously breastfeeding, and I really felt a need and a call to get on this podcast, really just to help everyone out that is struggling or may have questions. They need to know what to do next. So we're going to get into all that. But first, let's go over this whole baby thing. So to the women that are in business, you have children, or maybe someone like me who is going through this entrepreneur journey. They're just starting off. They have children, and now they're like, okay, I need to make some real money because things are getting real out here. Formula's up, egg prices are up, gas prices are up. A lot of things have increased, but there may be also a decrease. So back to the baby. So I had a baby. I was pregnant. I actually literally had a C-section because my doctor was like, look, you're over a certain age, which I don't even think I'm that old, but I guess anytime you're past, I think 35, you're considered like high risk. So they're like, look, we need to have a C-section with you. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I've never had a C-section before. My first two babies were just regular deliveries. So I had this C-section, and literally like 2 months before I give birth, I had this dream that I had a dream that the baby was in the hospital for like 3 additional weeks, almost a month. And the second thing, I dreamt like something else. So I'm like, oh, that was just a random dream. It probably means nothing. I'm just probably panicking because I'm pregnant and worried. You worry about everything when you're pregnant. So literally I give birth to the baby, C-section. The baby comes out healthy. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's no complications with the baby whatsoever. Now, with me though, the dream came true. It was actually me that was in the hospital for the next 3 weeks to a month. So basically the doctor, when he was taking her out, my husband was holding my hand. I literally the whole time was praying and just, praying for a peaceful birth. By the way, I went and got a doctor that's top, like one of the top doctors who's years of experience, 35 years of experience, a Black man. Like I just really wanted someone that knew how to care for women, because as some of y'all may or may not know, Black women are sometimes not cared for as well. And there's a higher risk of us dying due to people not really paying attention to everything. So here I am getting a Black doctor thinking everything was going to be good. Oh my goodness. So they left part of the baby's placenta inside of me because they said I was bleeding so much that they just wanted to sew me up, which sounds kind of scary. Sorry to get all graphic, but that's really the real deal. So after they sewed me back up, there was particles of the baby's placenta still left in me. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to make me sick. So I went home from the hospital after being there for like 4 days. Went home and I was like, I still have a fever. I'm still not feeling well. So my husband takes me back to the hospital. They say, oh, well, you do have a fever. We're going to give you some antibiotics. You should go right away. And that's it. Okay, I take the antibiotics. I go home. Same thing. I get a fever, 104, 105. I'm getting really nervous at this point. I go back to the hospital, and that's when they keep me. They're like, something's going on. You definitely have either an infection or something's not right. So my doctor runs up to the hospital. He flies up there in his car. He's really sweet about it. He's like, look, we're going to figure out what's going on. We're going to run x-rays. Long story short, this went on for 3 to 4 weeks. I'm in the hospital hospital every day. I have fevers because the policy is in the hospital that if you have a fever, you're spiking a fever, they can't let you go. You have to have 24 hours of no fever. Every single day for 3 weeks, I had a fever. I didn't tell anyone. I don't want to say I didn't tell anyone. I didn't broadcast it on Facebook. I'm not like that type of person that like, pray for me. I'm really not like that. I'm like, okay, I have my friends around me, my family, my husband is around me. And I just knew God was going to see me through it. So I just prayed. And sure enough, after 3.5 weeks, they let me out. After trying 10 antibiotics, they literally was able to get me well. No fever for 24 hours. It was just horrible. So I had to put my business on hold. Obviously, the baby's important. My health's important. I was so much more grateful for life. I'm just so much more grateful, period, because it was such a scary situation. But God sent me through it like he always does. He does for all of us. His grace and mercy is so beautiful. So I go home and I notice I have baby brain to the max. I can't think straight. I'm obviously worried about my baby. I'm just kind of thinking about how I'm going to get back into the business, even though I kind of semi-retired. Like I'm not doing as much as I was. I knew I wanted to just focus on this pregnancy and getting the baby out okay. But obviously I'm a boss, right? I'm the boss lady. Things are still happening in the background. I'm hearing about this recession coming. I already know we're in those first and second quarters of losses consecutively. And I know that we need to do something to make business boom. So up next, I want to talk about this R word, the recession, and what you and I should all be doing, what everyone should be doing right now that has a small business or that is in a business to make sure that we don't go under, because a lot of businesses go under during the recession. Stay tuned to Beauty Boss Millionaire.
Hey, if you like this episode, check out Getting Real with Bossy, where we chat about what it's like to be a woman business owner.
You'll hear interviews with women who are doing what it takes to succeed and the reality of what that looks like.
We cover all the topics, figuring out the rules and regulations, navigating business partnerships,
Even if that's your spouse. Motherhood while running a business, working within your values.
and all the ups and downs of being the boss.
Are you ready to get real? Pop over to our podcast.
Getting Real with Bossy,